If you're an author who is ready to throw their hands up and say, I'm done with book marketing, I'm done with social media, I'm sick of it, you are not alone. On a day-to-day basis, I hear from authors who are frustrated with all the time and effort that they put into their marketing and into their social media, and they don't see any results. And I completely understand your frustration. So what I wanted to do today was to share with you some tips and guidance that is going to help you to see bigger results from your social media and your book marketing without it taking over your life, and so you can see bigger results. So if that sounds good, I am so glad that you're here. So my name is Jenn hanson-dePaula, and I'm the co-founder of Mixus Media, and I am really good at helping authors simplify their book marketing, grow their audience, and sell more books. So if this sounds good to you, be sure to hit like and subscribe because I share new videos every Friday, and be sure to grab my free download called the Streamlined Book Marketing Guide. It's going to help you get started to see bigger results with your book marketing. So let's get started. So the very first thing that we need to do is to give ourselves a mindset adjustment, because marketing isn't what you think it is. Marketing is not selling. Sales comes way down the road when your book actually comes out. But marketing is all about connection. It's about building awareness. It's really about building that foundation to really start establishing those relationships with your readers. It's not something that needs to take over your life or to take a lot of time. Marketing can really be it can take just a few minutes a day, but it's really about setting your mindset and adjusting it a little bit to think about it being connecting with others, not selling to them. And a really big problem that I see authors make is that they make marketing an afterthought. Marketing needs to actually happen as early as possible because, again, we're dealing with relationships and those take time. And it's not something that you need to have your book completed and ready to go in order to start marketing. You can actually start that the minute that you start the whole writing process. And this is honestly a very understandable mistake because the way that we used to market books or music or any sort of product used to happen within a very small time frame. We only used to have about a 2 to 3, or actually about a 3 to 4 month window where we had the opportunity to actually pitch a book to a magazine or TV show or radio show or any other kind of promotional outlets that we had. And this was before social media came onto the scene. Social media really changed everything in about 2005 or 2006. And so since then, we have been able to create connections directly with readers. And that's through social media and other online resources. So we don't have to be limited to that 3 to 4 month window anymore. We have infinite amount of space and a lot more time to actually connect directly with our readers. And some of the kickback that I get from authors is that I don't have time to market my book. I'm too busy writing it. And the truth is that, again, marketing is about connection, and it doesn't need to take that much time to start those connections with your readers. It can actually just take a few minutes a day. So how do you actually do this? How do you properly market your book ahead of time without it taking over your life? So here's the first step that I want you to take. I want you to think about the person that you want to connect with. It might not be a fully thought out idea of who your ideal reader is, but you pretty much have a general idea of who you want to connect with. So once you have a general idea of who you want to connect with, you want to think about where they're going to be hanging out online. This is probably going to be just in a few key places. It's probably going to be most likely on social media. It might be on some online chat groups that you might have. It might be in some meetups. It could be online or offline. So make a list of different opportunities that you could tap into and pick 1 or 2 that you can focus on at the beginning. Most likely it'll be social media and maybe one other place. So now that you know who you want to connect with and where you're going to connect with them, let's talk about topics that you'll be discussing. So brainstorm 2 or 3 different things that you want to talk about and content that you want to connect with others on. For fiction writers, that might be books that you're reading, books that you like. It might be on different hobbies and interests or some different passion projects or organizations that you're involved with. For nonfiction writers, you could be thinking about the questions that you can answer. Think about the different topics that you write about that you can provide insight or provide information on. And also think about those personable things like your hobbies and other interests that you can start talking about. So once you have those ideas of content that you want to create, that you want to connect with people on, you want to think about joining the conversations that are already happening online. This will most likely be on social media, but it could also be in the comments of podcasts and blog posts. It could be joining in on other conversations that are happening within your community. It's thinking about ways that you can join the conversation to not only introduce yourself, but to also become a part of that conversation so that others will invite you in as well. So now that we know who we want to connect with, where we want to connect with them, content that we want to create to start conversations, and also in joining conversations online, we just need to set aside a few minutes a day. Start by setting aside 10 minutes a day for 2 or 3 days a week, and start creating those conversations and just start to build that foundation. You're going to see that it starts to snowball fairly quickly, and it's not going to be as overwhelming because you're starting so far ahead of time. You're not going to feel that pressure to build an audience right away in order to try to sell your book. You're going to be working ahead of time and creating those connections and building a fan base way early on. So once it comes time to sell your book, it will be so much more effective. So just taking small and intentional action every day is going to help make a huge job much more manageable, and it's going to make it more enjoyable and way more effective in the long run. So do you see how this becomes much more manageable, and it's a lot less stressful when you work ahead of time and when you just take it in little chunks? That is how we start to talk about our book and how we start to market our book ahead of time without a finished product and in a way that is not slimy. So if you found this helpful, be sure to hit like and subscribe. I'm going to share more videos on book marketing and social media, specifically for authors and writers, every Friday. And don't forget to download your free copy of the Streamlined Book Marketing Guide. It's going to help you save so much time with your marketing and help you get started on the right foot. So I'll see you next time.